Stop. Don't just listen to this video, do something with it. Sit up a little straighter, take a breath, and be honest with yourself. When was the last time you felt truly alive in your own body? Because if you just watch and scroll, nothing changes. And I'm telling you this as a doctor with over 30 years of working with men in their 60s, 70s, even 80s. What shocked me most wasn't my patients at first. It was me. A few years ago, I started noticing subtle things, waking up more tired, joints a bit stiffer, my focus slipping in conversations. Nothing dramatic, just enough to ignore. I did what most doctors do. I looked at diet, exercise, sleep. I adjusted everything, and still, something felt off. Then one patient said something that stayed with me. He looked me in the eye and said, "Doc, I feel like I'm disappearing." Not sick, not dying, just fading. That moment hit harder than any lab result I'd ever seen because I realized we've been focusing on the wrong thing. Most men think losing intimacy is just part of aging. It's not. It's a biological shutdown happening quietly, affecting your blood flow, your brain, your hormones, even your sense of identity. And the truth is, most of the common advice out there barely touches it. I had to rethink everything I believed. I tested different approaches. Some worked a little, most didn't. But what I discovered changed how I see aging in men completely. And in this video, I'm going to walk you through the exact 5 things that start happening to your body when intimacy disappears, and what you can do, starting today, to take that part of your life back. Before we go any deeper, let me ask you something simple. How old are you right now? Drop your age in the comments. I read every single one, and it helps me understand who I'm speaking to. Now, let's get into the first thing that starts happening to your body when intimacy disappears after 60. 1. Your heart starts to weaken. Here's something most men overlook, a simple form of movement that doesn't look like exercise at all. I want you to think about gentle, regular physical intimacy, not performance, not pressure, just connection. Start with touch, closeness, even a few minutes of physical affection, because your body doesn't separate intimacy from health. It treats it as activity. It sounds simple, almost too simple, but this is where the biology gets interesting. When you engage in sexual activity, your heart rate rises slightly, your blood vessels open up, and circulation improves throughout your body. Think of it like a light cardio session, but one that also triggers nitric oxide release, helping your arteries stay flexible instead of stiff. Now here's where it matters after 60. As we age, blood vessels naturally lose elasticity, and that's one of the biggest reasons behind high blood pressure and heart strain. Regular intimacy gently trains your cardiovascular system to stay responsive instead of slowly shutting down. I've seen this in my own patients. Men who stay moderately active in this area tend to have better circulation and fewer heart-related complaints. Some data suggests men with consistent sexual activity have up to a 20 to 30% lower risk of certain cardiovascular issues compared to those who are inactive. And it's not about frequency or intensity, it's about consistency over time because the effect builds, just like exercise. Now here's the part most people miss. The benefit is dual. You're not just supporting your heart, you're also improving blood flow to other critical areas, including those directly tied to performance and confidence. So here's what I recommend. Start small, 2 to 3 times per week if possible, even if it begins with non-sexual touch. Keep it relaxed, no pressure, and focus on staying consistent rather than perfect. Because over weeks and months, your body adapts, your circulation improves, and your heart becomes more resilient without you even realizing it. But the heart is only the beginning. What starts happening to your muscles and joints next is something most men don't expect. 2. Your muscles and joints begin to break down. Let me show you something most men miss. A simple combination that protects your strength without ever stepping into a gym. Gentle physical intimacy paired with controlled breathing, slow, deep nasal breathing during touch, creates a powerful effect inside the body. It sounds almost too basic, but when you combine movement with oxygen regulation, you activate something deeper than just muscles. You activate repair. Here's the biology in plain terms. After 60, your body produces less testosterone and growth hormone, which are key for maintaining muscle mass and joint flexibility. At the same time, circulation slows, meaning less oxygen and fewer nutrients reach your tissues. Now, when you combine physical intimacy, which activates multiple muscle groups, with slow breathing, you increase oxygen delivery and stimulate nitric oxide, improving joint lubrication and muscle response at the same time. That's the central mechanism. Oxygen plus circulation equals tissue preservation. From a traditional medicine perspective, this aligns with what's often described as energy flow or vitality moving through the body, especially in the lower core and pelvic region. Modern science translates that into improved blood flow, nerve activation, and hormonal signaling. Studies have shown that men who maintain regular physical activity involving full-body engagement can preserve up to 25% more muscle function as they age, and those who incorporate breath control techniques may improve mobility and reduce joint stiffness by around 15 to 20%. Now, here's the risk most men don't realize. Inactivity doesn't just keep things the same, it accelerates decline. Muscles shrink, joints stiffen, balance worsens, and the risk of falls increases dramatically after 65. But when you combine these two elements, movement and breath, you create a synergistic effect that slows that entire process down. So here's exactly how to start. If you're new, begin with just 5 to 10 minutes of gentle physical contact, no pressure, while focusing on slow breathing. Inhale for 4 seconds, exhale for 6. Do this 3 times a week. After 2 to 3 weeks, you can gradually increase duration and intensity as your body adapts. The key is consistency, not effort. Because over time, your muscles don't just stay active, they relearn how to respond. But what happens next goes beyond the body, because the real shift begins in the brain, and most men never see it coming. 3. Your brain starts to slow down. Let me show you something most men never connect. A fast-acting brain trigger that doesn't come from a pill but from your own chemistry. The key compound here is dopamine, and one of the most natural ways to activate it quickly is through physical intimacy combined with anticipation and touch. It sounds almost too simple, but within minutes your brain begins shifting its chemistry in a very measurable way. Here's the process, in plain English. When intimacy begins, your brain releases dopamine first, the motivation chemical, then oxytocin and endorphins follow, creating calm, focus, and emotional stability. This isn't just about feeling good. Dopamine directly affects memory circuits, attention, and mental speed. Now, after 60, dopamine production naturally declines, and that's why many men start feeling slower, less sharp, even a bit disconnected from conversations or daily tasks. What's fascinating is how quickly this can change. Some clinical observations show dopamine levels can rise noticeably within minutes to an hour after intimate stimulation, improving mood and cognitive engagement almost immediately. Another set of findings suggests regular activation of these pathways over several weeks may support up to a 15 to 25% improvement in mood stability and mental responsiveness, especially in older adults. Now, here's the dual benefit most people don't expect. This isn't just about your brain. That same dopamine surge also increases energy, drive, and even physical stamina because your nervous system becomes more responsive. So you're not only thinking clearer, you're moving and reacting better too. I know what some men are thinking. What if I don't feel the desire anymore? Or what if it feels forced? That's actually part of the process. Low desire isn't a stop sign. It's a signal your system needs activation. Even mild engagement, even without full performance, can start that chemical cascade. And if you feel a slight restlessness or emotional shift afterward, that's not a side effect. It's your brain waking back up. Here's exactly how to apply this. Start in the evening 2 to 3 times per week with at least 10 to 15 minutes of relaxed physical connection, no pressure for performance. Focus on slow progression, allowing anticipation to build naturally. That's what stimulates dopamine the most. Over time, this creates both a short-term lift within hours and a long-term rewiring effect across weeks. Because once your brain starts reactivating, something deeper begins to change. And it's not just how you think, but how you feel connected to the world and the person next to you. 4. Emotional connection starts to fade. Let me tell you something that hits faster than most men expect. The moment physical intimacy disappears, a key compound in your body drops almost immediately. That compound is oxytocin, often called the bonding hormone. And it's not just emotional, it directly regulates stress, trust, and how connected you feel to another human being. What surprises most of my patients is how quickly this shift happens, sometimes within days or weeks, not years. Here's the process in simple terms. When you engage in touch, closeness, or sexual intimacy, your brain releases oxytocin, which lowers cortisol, the stress hormone, and creates a sense of safety and attachment. Without that stimulation, cortisol stays elevated, and over time, your brain begins to interpret your environment as more stressful, even if nothing has changed. That's why many men over 60 start feeling more irritable, more distant, or even emotionally numb without realizing the biological reason behind it. Now here's where it gets powerful. Oxytocin can rise within minutes to an hour after physical touch, and studies have shown that regular physical affection can reduce stress markers by up to 20 to 30% in a matter of weeks. Another set of findings suggests that couples who maintain physical closeness report up to 40% higher relationship satisfaction even without frequent sexual activity. So this isn't just about romance, it's about stabilizing your entire emotional system. And the benefit is dual again. When oxytocin increases, not only do you feel more connected, but your body also becomes more relaxed. Your sleep improves and your energy becomes more stable throughout the day. You think clearer, you react calmer, and your interactions feel more natural instead of forced. Now, some men tell me it feels awkward to start again, or what if my partner isn't interested? That hesitation you feel, that slight discomfort. That's not a problem, it's a signal. It means your system has been inactive and it's waking back up. Just like a stiff joint feels tight before it loosens, emotional reconnection works the same way. Here's exactly what I recommend. Start with 5 to 10 minutes of intentional physical touch daily. Holding hands, light contact, sitting close, preferably in the evening when your body is winding down. No pressure, no expectations. After 1 to 2 weeks, gradually extend that time or allow it to evolve naturally. The key is frequency, not intensity, because oxytocin builds through repetition. And once that emotional connection starts coming back, something even deeper begins to shift. Not just how you feel with your partner, but how your body responds at a functional level in ways most men don't see coming. 5. Your body forgets sexual function. Use it or lose it. If there's one method I consider the most powerful for restoring function after 60, this is it. Not a pill, not a quick fix, but a daily activation habit built around one key compound your body already knows how to use. Nitric oxide. This is the molecule responsible for relaxing blood vessels and allowing blood to flow where it needs to go, and without it, function simply fades. Think of it like a switch. If you don't turn it on regularly, the wiring starts to weaken. Here's what most men don't realize. After 60, your natural nitric oxide production can drop significantly, which means less blood flow, slower response time, and reduced sensitivity. That's why the principle use it or lose it is very real here. The less stimulation your body gets, the more it downregulates the entire system. But when you reactivate nitric oxide pathways consistently, you're essentially retraining your body to respond again. Now let me give you a simple but very effective preparation method. In the evening, about 30 to 60 minutes before sleep, combine gentle physical stimulation with warm temperature exposure. This could be a warm shower or bath around 38 to 40 degrees Celsius, 100 to 104 degrees Fahrenheit for 10 to 15 minutes. Heat naturally increases blood vessel dilation, and when paired with light stimulation or even just awareness and engagement, it boosts nitric oxide release significantly. There's data showing that improving nitric oxide pathways can enhance blood flow efficiency by over 30 to 50%, and some comparisons suggest that natural nitric oxide activation can support function in ways that begin to approach certain pharmaceutical effects without the side effects. Another observation shows that consistent stimulation over 6 to 8 weeks can noticeably improve responsiveness and tissue elasticity in aging men. Now here's the key. This is not about intensity, it's about repetition. You're not trying to perform, you're retraining a system that has gone quiet. Start with just 5 to 10 minutes of gentle activation 3 to 4 times per week, ideally after warmth when circulation is already elevated. If you're new, go slowly. Let your body adapt and don't expect immediate results. That's not how this works. The good news is this: your body hasn't lost the ability, it's just been inactive. And once you begin reactivating these pathways, things start to come back, gradually, naturally, and sustainably. No drugs, low cost, fully aligned with how your biology is designed to function. And when you step back and look at all of this together, heart, muscles, brain, emotional connection, and function, you start to realize this isn't just about one part of your life. It's about whether you continue living fully or slowly fade without even noticing. If this video made you stop and think for a moment, don't just leave it here. Hit the subscribe button and stay with me, because what we talked about today is only the surface of something much deeper. In the next videos, I'm going to break down in simple terms the real science behind how men over 60 can protect their heart, rebuild strength, sharpen their mind, and restore that sense of vitality that so many quietly lose. I've spent decades working with men who thought their best years were behind them until they understood what was really happening inside their bodies. And the truth is, small changes done consistently can completely shift how you feel, how you move, and how you show up in your life. So if you want clear, honest guidance without confusion or hype, make sure you're subscribed and turn on notifications. That way you won't miss what could be the one insight that changes everything for you. Thank you for being here. And more importantly, thank you for choosing not to give up on your health.